What is going on, everyone? It is Mark here with another video, and today we are going to be talking about something pretty exciting in the Apple world. So earlier this week, WWDC, iPhone had a little bit of an update. iOS 14 is now a thing. Let's talk about it. I'm excited. There's a few new things for those Android people. Yes, some of these things have been around for a while, I will admit. But there's obviously a little bit of an Apple twist to it. So let's get into it. There's a few things that I wanted to kind of touch base on. The reason I didn't make a review on the first day that it actually came out is because I wanted to spend some time with it, see if there were any bugs, let you guys know. This is of course the beta, just for developers and people in the industry. I'm pretty excited. So far, so good overall. So I made a little bit of a list here that you can't see on a piece of paper just to remind me of the things that I want to bring up. And the first thing here is the app library. So this is kind of like a central hub where all the apps live, and this gets very important a little bit later on. If you go all the way to the right on your home screen, you'll be greeted by this app library. It is organized kind of in an intelligent way by Apple to kind of group applications together, but also allow you to search. Once you hit search up top, of course, you're able to find whatever app you are looking for. It is organized alphabetically once you get to that point, but that's kind of like a central hub. This is of course a kind of familiar looking place. All the applications look the same. The categories, the groups, the folders, those also look the same. But the fact is that these are all of your apps. And why this is important, because in iOS 14, you're able to hide home pages. And why that's important is for people like me who don't like clutter on their home page. They like everything to be kind of organized, and now we don't have to create a secondary homepage with a bunch of folders that mean absolutely nothing to anyone, just a place where they don't clutter everything up. So that is exciting. I don't know if you realize how exciting that is. That is exciting. Let me show you how you do it really quick. Okay, very simple. You tap and hold, you'll be greeted by the new interface to kind of edit the home page. If you tap the bottom button right there, the kind of like scroll icon at the bottom there, you are able to look at the next pages that you have froze or hidden. So I of course had two home pages here, and I hid the one with all of the folders. And if you want to unhide that or rehide it, all you gotta do is hit that check mark on or off. And there you go, Bob is your uncle. You hit done. Now you have the two home pages. But me, I don't like that. I'm not a huge fan. I'm gonna press and hold, tap the scroll icon, done, boom, bada bing. There you go. Now you have the one home page, and as soon as I swipe right, there is my app library. Of course, you're able to swipe down and search for the apps like you typically would in iOS, which is primarily why I had that secondary screen to kind of leave everything in the background and just swipe and use it as required and have the main stuff on the kind of the dock and the main page. But you are of course able to still use that feature because you have hidden most of your stuff now. And using the app library, depending on how many apps you may have, might be a little bit challenging, but it gives it a home, an invisible home, if you will. Okay, so that's that. Now, let's talk about the widgets. The widgets are a big thing that hit iOS 14. Pretty exciting to a certain degree. Of course, now in the current state, it is just Apple apps that can actually be utilized in these widgets. Once everything's released to the public, I am sure third-party applications will be able to kind of develop their own widgets and get everything going, which I'm a huge fan of. Yes, I know Android had it for quite some time now, but we don't have to dwell on the past, okay? We are here, we are in the future. We have widgets on iOS. They are smart widgets, but they are a little bit restricted in terms of layout and how you can actually put them on your homepage. They aren't like Android where you can like customize the shape, size, and all of that kind of stuff. But we're getting there. They have their restrictions, but they also have a few tricks up their sleeves. So the way that I have set up my iPhone is basically at the top, I have my calendar. In the middle, I have my news and kind of the wide banner mode. And to bottom right, I have my music playlist. And then I'm left with 4 additional slots on the left-hand side for applications that I do use. So I put Instagram, my calendar, Twitter, Chrome, and then yeah. And of course on my dock, the only things that I did change was remove my music from the bottom right, because guess what? My widget for music is in the bottom right, so I felt like that was abundantly redundant, if that's like a good way to put words together. Abundantly redundant is is what I'm gonna go with. And why these things are kind of interesting is because it allows you to get a lot of information on your device at one simple glance. For example, I'm looking at top stories and my calendar all in the same kind of glance. These are only 3 of the genres of widgets. I will go into a little bit more depth in just a second, but essentially why I enjoy this setup currently is because I get to see my calendar, I get to see what my day is, the top stories, and of course a little bit of music information that's going on, what's playing, just so that I can have everything in one quick simple glance. Like I mentioned, you can customize these widgets by simply pressing and holding. You hit plus, and this is where your widgets will live. So as you can tell right now, everything is kind of a Apple 101. Like I said, it is beta, but there is a lot of things that you can take full advantage of. And one of those things is something called Smart Stacks. This is a kind of a cool little trick up its sleeve. It essentially allows you to layer widgets. So if I wanted to overlap my calendar and my top news widgets, all I would simply do is tap and hold, place it on top of each other. There you go. I now have my calendar and my top news kind of widgets in one condensed area. And of course, they do have different kind of settings, and you can put a whole bunch of different other widgets on top of each other. The only restriction for this one is that they do have to be the same footprint. However, if you go back to the area where you add widgets, you will notice that all of these main widget genres, they do have different sizes of widgets available. So to tie that in with Smart Stacks is you can essentially have whatever combination of widgets stacked together depending on what size of widget you are looking for. I personally am kind of leaning away from stacks because I would like kind of everything to be a quick glance and have that same information available to me whenever I need it. But this can be extremely useful. For example, if you have the stocks revolving, you have the top news, that can be kind of like your central hub, and that actually automatically rotates through your widgets if you would like it to do so. So widgets are very, very interesting. So widgets currently are kind of like this. I'm going to use the word in testing grounds. Apple is only letting themselves kind of utilize this technology just because I guess it is still in beta, but I'm really hoping that a lot of the other applications will be able to use this and kind of take full advantage of this information. Like imagine Twitter on this. That would be superb. Okay, there's a few other items that I did want to talk about iOS 14, the new phone call kind of display. Did I bring my other phone? Yes, I am so smart. So you know how in iOS 13 and under, when you are receiving a phone call, it takes the whole entire display? Well, guess what? Now it does not. It appears as kind of a little bar at the top. It is very non-intrusive. If you want to tell them to go away, you can obviously hang up or pick up, but you can actually swipe it up and it's still ringing. You just tap the phone there and you still have that option to kind of, you know, send people to voicemail. You still have all the options you did have, just that initial kind of ring is not so intrusive. And similarly, guess what? So is FaceTime. So if I go to FaceTime, now I'm on a FaceTime with myself, and guess what? As soon as I swipe up, that FaceTime no longer goes on hold. However, it becomes a window wherever you would like on the screen. So you can drag it to whichever corner you would like on your display, on your homepage, and guess what? You can still go on Instagram and your girlfriend won't even know that you have not paid attention in a couple of minutes because the video is not paused. This is truly fantastic. So let me end this FaceTime call. There we go. And yeah, so that's pretty exciting. FaceTime, no longer a thing that gets you in trouble. Okay, the next big thing is Siri. Siri, again, became this whole thing that took over your entire device and was kind of intrusive in the way you interacted with it. Well, guess what? It still kind of is, just less so. So Siri, instead of being this whole phone kind of takeover, it now becomes a little circle on the bottom of the homepage. That is cool, right? You said, you know what, that's pretty cool. However, you still can't do anything behind that home button or behind that Siri icon because then it cancels Siri. So Siri now looks a lot smaller and a little bit more minimal. However, as soon as I'm talking and I still want to go on Instagram, I still want to go on Twitter, I can't do that because it cancels Siri right away. So that's a small little thing, but it's not the end of the world. And the last thing I kind of wanted to bring up was picture-in-picture. So any kind of full screen video that you are watching through Apple Movie or Safari can now be similar to the FaceTime, kind of minimalized into your actual homepage, so you can multitask, kind of hide it completely and only have the audio playing out to you and you having the full home screen or the whole display to whatever else you are doing. And you can of course bring it back as easily as just swiping it back. So that is pretty exciting. So the absolute last thing that I do want to bring up is kind of new things coming to iOS 14. Before I get to the downfall of iOS 14 is the double tap. So you can set a whole bunch of different kind of programmable things to do as soon as you double tap the back of the phone. You can actually use Siri enabled kind of things. As I'm sure you have seen, MKBHD set up actually Google Assistant to be popped up as soon as he double taps the back of the phone. But for me, I'm a much simpler man. I double tap and it mutes my phone. You can do simple things like that, or actually take it to the next level and use Google Assistant on an Apple device. But it's actually very, very powerful. There is going to be a lot of different things coming out, I'm sure, with this double tap feature. Like I said, it is just in beta, so I'm excited to see what comes next. Now, like you may have mentioned or you may have listened, there is the downfall of iOS 14. What is it? Well, it's not that big of a downfall. That was a little bit of a clickbait, kind of build the excitement. The only glitches that I am getting, of course this is beta, is Apple Pay. So when I go to a store and I double tap and I want to use like my debit or credit, I scan my face, all is good, right? Everything's ready to go. Boop. And like it loses control. Today, for example, I went to pay on the debit machine. The debit machine literally started like giving error messages, like different shapes, and like didn't work. I had to pay with my card, which is totally fine, but like something's not right. It never went through. It always got canceled. I've never seen it not go through, so it's happened more than one time, and I don't know if it's coincidence, but it only happened once I downloaded iOS 14. Anyway, so that's my experience with iOS 14 as far as right now. It's been a couple of days. It's actually, you know, it's held up pretty good. Usually there's a lot more glitches, but I haven't encountered any. Safari works great. All the applications that I already do have are working just fine, other than the whole pay thing. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for it to kind of be developed on and kind of work through and polished up and made everything a little bit nicer in terms of third-party applications and things like that. But everything works. That's good, no? Anyways, I hope you liked that video. If you did, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button down below. And for additional brownie points, you know what to do. Follow me on all of my social media. Links can be found down in the description, or everything is Mark Stapf, including Twitch. Twitch, yeah, that's the thing that we do now. We play video games on the internet, live with friends, and we have a good old time. And yeah, it's exciting. Anyways, I hope you liked that video, and I will see you on the next one.